Welcome back to the channel. Today is an exciting day. I am finally installing my sliders on the truck. So stick around and I will tell you all about it and why you should not do it the same way. So today is a day that I have been both looking forward to and dreading since the end of April. I bought my slider kit in the middle of April. It arrived and I got to start welding on it. And shortly after I started putting it together, I realized that it was a weld on and not a bolt on. I wanted bolt on. I looked and looked around for the brackets and nobody would provide just the brackets. So I ended up having to get my own brackets made. You can see here, I found a file online. They had to be kind of put together, water jetted, and bent. So now what I'm dreading is I have to take the slider and basically put a piece of wood under the truck and put a floor jack under it and kind of place it where I want the slider to end up as far as this area of how far out it's going to sit inside and outside in the truck, and then also make sure that it's squared this way. Once I have that established, I can take a measurement from the backside of the slider here to the frame plate here in order to cut these to the correct length. Once I get all of those cut to the correct length, then bolt these brackets onto the frame, tack weld these in place at the correct height. Once I get them all bolted in and all tack welded in, then I can go ahead and set the angle that I want the sliders to be at, because I'm looking for about a 15-degree angle with the kickouts there in the back. And then I can finally weld these brackets or these pipes to the sliders, and once I get all of that tacked in place, I can then unbolt it, finish weld everything, grind it, clean it, wipe it down, and then I'm going to hit it with some truck bed coating, and that way I can just touch it up later. So as you can imagine, quite the ordeal. While I am excited to get the sliders on, this turned into a lot bigger of a job than I thought it was originally going to be. So, for anybody that wants to fabricate your own sliders, unless you work in a fabrication shop and have access to a lot of fancy tools, I would tell you right now, don't. Just spend a couple extra $100 and buy them from a shop already powder coated with the hardware ready to go on, because the kit itself was like $415 shipped. I thought, great. Set of sliders powder coated at the time I was looking was almost $2,000 by the time it was delivered. So now you're talking $415 for the kit. I've got another at least 100 in welding supplies. I have 275 for the water jet and bends, and that was even a little bit of a deal through a friend. And I will have another probably close to $150 in hardware, and then another probably close to $50 or $60 in paint to get it all coated correctly. Not to mention, I'm probably going into... Not to mention, I've probably spent, close to 30 hours of my time between welding, tracking stuff down, running around town to find stuff. It would have been worth it at this point. Go with a reputable company. Reach out to Greg at Pakrax, or the guys over at Westcott. Caliraised has some nice ones. CBI. There's a bunch of companies out there that have nice sliders. Just go with one of them. Save yourself the headache. Unless you're looking for something just crazy custom, it'll be worth it to just buy them. So take you guys along for the ride, as always. So I have the slider up basically where I want it, centered in the pinch weld there, and in a good spot front to back. I took a piece of 1x2 and basically put it between the pinch weld and the slider, used the floor jack and jacked it up until it is tight against there to hold it in place. Then I can take my bracket for the front, put it up where it's supposed to go, and take a measurement, which I've already done this, and I know that it's 6 inches on the front. And then I did the same thing for the very rear position, and it's 6 1/4 in the rear. I've double checked the pinch welds, I've double checked everything. There's just a 1/4 inch difference between the front and the rear on the pinch welds. So now what I can do is take these bars, and I have labeled them. It might not show up in the camera there with the light on it, but took the front one, marked it at 6 inches, took the rear one, marked it at 6 1/4. I'll cut those off, and then once I get those cut off, I can, I'm going to go ahead and pressure wash the truck first thing in the morning. As you can tell, it's dark. So I'll pressure wash the truck first thing in the morning, and then I'll take my hardware and I'll bolt this one into place. I'll put the slider back up here, and then once this is cut off, I can take it, slide it up in there where it goes, and then tack weld it in place. All right, one side is on. Kind of a pain, but not terrible. Move over to the other side and get it done. There you have it. As you can see, it was definitely a painstaking process. Like I said, I ordered the original kit in mid-April, and it is now the end of October. So I think I installed it on like the 21st, and then I've just been, editing, putting stuff together. Some of the information in the video I did give was incorrect. So the kit itself was $415. The flange that I had to have water jetted to bolt onto the frame was $275. I spent $76.60 in paint and $55.11 in hardware and $177.49 in welding supplies. So grand total on that was $999.60. So call it $1,000. Not to mention, by the time all was said and done, I have well into 70 or 80 hours of my time into this. Not to mention fuel cost running around and time lost with family and everything like that. So like I said, when it comes to it, just go with one of the reputable companies. I'll put some links below if you're looking for sliders. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about Xo-fab. Their kit is amazing. If you want weld-on sliders and you're into the fabrication stuff, then by all means, I'll put their link below too. Their kit was great. Everything was notched well. It fit great. Everything was really nice, exactly as described. It's just a weld-on kit. So I had to make some adjustments in order to make it fit the application that I wanted and the way that I wanted. So hope you guys enjoyed. As always, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.